their souls fainted in them. Then they cried unto the Lord in their trouble, and he delivered them out of their distress. And they led them forth by the right way, that they might go to a city of habitation. I want to share from this scripture. My message is very simple today, is thanking the Lord. I want us to have an opportunity to thank the Lord today. Since the situation of COVID-19 pressed over other nations of the world in the month of March, we've been going through a very vigorous, trying time as a nation, as individuals, as families. And it is important at one point we should come before the Lord just to thank Him. And today I just want us to come before the Lord to thank the Lord. So I'm looking at this day as a Thanksgiving day. I'm looking as though we are in our service and we are thanking the Lord. We are coming before the Lord just to thank Him. To thank the Lord for His goodness. To thank the Lord for the things He has done for us. To thank the Lord for the way He has led us. To thank the Lord for preserving our lives. To thank the Lord for watching over our lives. To thank the Lord for caring for us. To thank the Lord for delivering our lives. To thank the Lord for providing us. To thank the Lord for saving and doing many things that the Lord has done. So I want us to look at ourselves in that way, and I want you to have that attitude of having to be grateful to the Lord. Not many people in the world have died by coronavirus by this time. From the beginning of the year until now, lots of many people have died, but your life has been preserved. You have every right to thank the Lord. And as a nation, from the month of March, we've been going through all these coronavirus issues, and it is important we come today to thank the Lord. So I want to be very grateful to the Lord today. In the 30 minutes of my recording, I want to trust in God that I will share with you some two aspects of areas where I want us to thank the Lord for. But I want us to be generally very grateful. Personally, I'm very grateful to the Lord for watching over me, for protecting me, protecting my wife. I'm a married man, protecting my children. I'm a family man, I have children, protecting my brethren, protecting the believers. I'm a pastor, I'm a leader. I have people under my authority over the local church, over the district presbytery, and also the people that I share with, those who call me from all over parts of the world. All those who call me to ask for advice. Today, I want us to be grateful wherever we are to thank the Lord. I want us to come with an attitude before the Lord just to thank the Lord. To tell the Lord, that Lord, you are good and your mercies endure forever. So that David, the psalmist, he says, give ye thanks unto the Lord, for He is good. And truly, the Lord is good. The Lord is good. It is that He is good. And because He is good, He does good. The Lord is good and He does good. He has done good to you. He has done good to every one of us. He has watched over us. The psalmist says, oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for He is good, for His mercy endureth forever. He has shown you mercy. For those who travel on by road, and our officers who are watching over and guarding over in the curfew time, they would be attacked by somebody, evil person, but the Lord has protected them. There is every need to consider the goodness of the Lord and the mercies of the Lord and the kindness of the Lord and the grace of the Lord. So we need to be grateful today, and we need to have that attitude, looking at where we have passed. The psalmist was writing and saying, let the redeemed of the Lord say so, whom He hath redeemed from the hand of the enemy. Many times you have passed through difficulties. Many times the enemy and an evil plan are against you, but the Lord did not allow it to mature. The Lord aborted the hand of the enemy. The Lord aborted the plan of the enemy. You would have been broke. The Lord sent somebody to help you. You would have not have paid your rent. The Lord helped somebody to help you to help you to pay your rent. You would have been sacked. The Lord retained you. The Lord used mercy, and the company picked. And instead of laying you off, they put you on half salary. It's all the goodness of the Lord. That's why he's talking about considering mercies of God, the goodness of God, the kindness of God, and I'm bringing it the grace of God, all that which God has done for you, that we can come before the Lord. Then he says, and gathered them out of the lands from the east and from the west, from the north, and from the south. They wandered in the wilderness in a solitary way. They found no city to dwell in. Hungry and thirsty, their souls fainted in them. Then they cried unto the Lord in their trouble, and He delivered them out of their distresses. You can consider how the Lord has dealt with you, because you are to link your faith to God. You are to put your faith in God, for God has a good plan for you. The Lord is taking you somewhere. The Lord has a plan. You are not going to perish. The Lord has a plan. The Lord has an intention for your life. The Lord has a good moment for you. The Lord has a good plan for you. You are of the Lord. God has you as His. You are His. So God has a plan for you. And anything that you have, if it is your car, if it is your property, if it is your house, if it is your family, if it is your children, you consider them, you care for them. So you are the Lord's, and the Lord has a good plan for you. The Lord has good intention for you. The Lord has good will for you. The Lord has good intention for you. The Lord is planning to bring you to an expected end. As the prophet Jeremiah was talking to those that were in Babylon and encouraging them, cheering them up, telling, be of good cheer, telling them, do something, buy lands and build houses, and telling them, give your daughters, get your wives to yourselves, and get husbands to yourselves, and give your daughters to be married, and your sons to be married, and increase and eat of the land, knowing that the Lord had a plan that He will take them back to Babylon after 70 years. So let's have this mind that the Lord has been good. The Lord has been kind. God was good from the month of March without the panic. God has been good all through the month of April. God has passed us through the month of May. And now we are in the month of June. And by the way, we are at the end of the month of June. And you can consider how the Lord has dealt with you. You can look at what God has done. You can consider your life. You can consider the things that God has done for you. And you can always say, God has been good. I want to tell you, even when during the coronavirus, God has not ceased to have something that He can do for us. And today in our Thanksgiving, I want to look at two areas. I want us to come before the Lord as our people and as our nation, that we can thank the Lord for two things. One, it is out of the message that I preached on 26th May. On 26th May of this year, I came here and I preached on a message about the honor that God has given to Kenya. And I spoke about the nation of Kenya, and I brought in many, many thoughts. I said Kenya is very important in the eyes of God. And I don't mean Kenya is more important than other people. I want you to think about God like a father. While you have 12 sons like Jacob, all the sons are yours. So you still love Reuben, just as you love Simon, and just as you love Levi, and just as you love Judah. So I'm not saying Kenya is better than any other country, but I am saying Kenya has a special part to play in the redemption of God in the world. And I want to consider the thing that I was speaking about that day. I was bringing this to a light to you. I told you how God delivered this nation by the lions. Now there was a time when the Arabs, during the days of the slave trade, the Arabs would have moved, and they moved all over in East Africa, to the coastal part of East Africa. And Kenya is on the coastal part by the Indian Ocean. And I spoke about they could not penetrate the inland of Kenya because the Lord positioned what you call the man-eaters of Savo. And so I say God used the lions to protect this country when we were not there. We were still a colony. We were nothing. We had no army. We had no police. We had no government. And in the church, we had no church. We had no intercessors. But the Lord raised lions to protect this nation. This nation is very important before the Lord. And I was bringing in the thoughts how God has set destiny for this country. Because God gives people a destiny, which is a path where they shall pass. God sets a destiny. And I spoke about men that God has used to set the destiny of this country. And I brought in the thoughts of how God has dealt with the people. And I brought in the mentions of people like Dr. Kraft. I mentioned people like Dr. Billy Graham. I brought in people like Dr. Oral Roberts. I brought people like Dr. T.L. Osborne. I brought people like Dr. Derek Prince. I brought people like Dr. Maurice Cerullo. And I brought people like Apostle Das. I brought people that God has set a destiny, that God has given Kenya a path. Kenya must go by this path. And I spoke about the last person and the first. The first person that God sent to this country and the last person that God sent to this country, they were all missionaries. And the last person came to raise the voice of Kenya so that Kenya will have his voice, because he brought in intercession to Kenya. He brought Kenya to weigh our voice and our voice be heard. Because an intercessor is like a watchman. An intercessor blows the trumpet, as it is in Ezekiel chapter 33. To blow the trumpet, he blows the trumpet. So the last man that I sent, and I spoke about the apostle Das. I spoke about he came to pray for this nation and to raise now not lions, and to raise now not foreigners, but to bring sons of Kenya that will come and bear this nation, so that the voice of Kenya will be heard. That now from there, the voice of Kenya will be heard in East Africa. The voice of Kenya will be heard in the state. Kenya is going to play a key role in the United Nations. And I want to thank God. This is part of the reason why we are having this Thanksgiving service. Recently, the United Nations cast a vote and gave Kenya temporary position for 2 years to be a member of the Security Council. This is something what to thank for. It is something to be grateful. Kenya in East Africa and Kenya in the continent of Africa has been given a special part, that she will sit in the Security Council and discuss matters of security and the interest of the nations. This is something the Lord has done in our country, and we must be grateful to it. And I want to thank God that we spoke. When I preached, I spoke about what God is going to do. I spoke about God is going to cause Kenya, because Kenya has come to a place of our rising. Kenya must arise. Kenya must grow. Kenya must move. Kenya must shine. Kenya must show our glory. Kenya must be heard. And this is one thing that God has accomplished. And I just want to thank God for it. I also want to thank the President of the Republic of Kenya, our President, for the remarks he made when the die was cast. And they returned and they thanked Djibouti, and they said, we want to congratulate our neighbor, our brother. He gave a good competition so that there can be fairness. And that I just want to thank the Lord. Instead of having to use words that appear to show like you are fighting us or you are resisting us, the President came as a statesman, and they appreciated the people of Djibouti and the government of Djibouti. And that's the whole way of a statesman. So I just want to thank the Lord for what he has done for Kenya. For these 2 years, we must see Kenya playing a key role in the nations. That's what I call about Kenya arising, Kenya shining, Kenya moving, Kenya being heard. Because the days for Kenya to be heard has come. The days for Kenya to shine has come. The days for the glory of God in Kenya has come. The days have come. So Kenya must be given way, and God has given it way in the United Nations. And I just want to thank the Lord. I just want to be very grateful. So I'm asking all of you to be grateful. I'm asking all of you to thank the Lord, wherever you are. You know, those that are our brethren, and all of our wherever we are as Kenya citizens and as people of this country, let's be grateful to God, because we have come to our days. I said Kenya has come to our days of our rising, our days of our glorification, so that she will play the key role in the redemption of God. I remember in the year 2010, I sent a message to the third president of the Republic of Kenya, and I gave it to the vice president at that time, Honorable Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. And I said it, and it was speaking about the things that God has intended for Kenya in order to play a part in the region, in this region, in the continent of Africa, and in the United Nations. So I'm very grateful to God for what God is doing. I'm seeing God has raised our nation, and because of this, because God has placed us, we must play our part. God gives nations part, like God gives people part. God brought a young man called David, and he raised him to play a part in the salvation of Israel at their time. So God works with the nations with time. God works with the people with the time. And lo and behold, I'm telling you, prepare yourself. God has a part for you. God has a place for you. Play yourself to play your part. Play yourself to do your part. God has a part for you. He had a part for David. He has a part for you. He had a part for Deborah. Ladies, God has a part for you. Know that God has a part for you. He has part for nations. He has part for people. He gives them an opportunity so that they can play their part in the redemption of all people. We just want to thank God. And I believe Kenya should work, and the ministers of God, the servant of God, in the body of Christ, Kenya must work with the other four leading nations in the continent of Africa. There are 5 important countries in the continent of Africa. Kenya is in the east. South Africa is in the south. Congo DRC is in the central. Nigeria is in the west. And Egypt is on the north. And now I'm believing God. These 5 nations must work together, must go together, must work for the greatness of this continent of Africa. Africa shall come to our position. The prophecy of the prophet Isaiah in Isaiah chapter 19, he said, and I saw a highway in Africa. There must be a great move of God in the continent of Africa. So let us be encouraged, we who are in East Africa. Let us be encouraging and encourage those that are in South Africa. Let us encourage our brethren that are in Central Africa. Let us encourage our brethren that are in West Africa. Let us encourage our brethren that are in North Africa. Let's work together that Africa will arise and thank God. The anticipation of people when coronavirus came was that it isn't going to damage Africa. But thank God, God has not allowed it. Thank God, God has prevailed. The days of the continent of Africa, God does not forget. God does not forget. God will not forget that when Israel had a problem, he sent Jesus to Africa. He sent him to Africa. When his life was in danger, he told Joseph, arise and take the child and the mother to Egypt. Egypt represents Africa. So there is before us great hope. We are waiting on God to do a great thing. And we thank God. We thank God. I want you to have a good attitude. I want you to believe God. And I want the sons of Africa to arise. The sons of Africa to arise. The sons of Africa in East Africa to arise. The sons of Africa from southern countries to arise. The sons of Africa and their daughters from Central Africa to arise. And the sons of Africa from West Africa and their daughters to arise. And the sons of Africa from North Africa and their daughters to arise. It is our time. It is our day. We come before the Lord. So I pray that Kenya is going to play a key part. And because Kenya is a peaceful nation, there is going to be an overwhelming in the direction of Kenya and the involvement. And the president who is again sitting in that council is going to present Kenya in a very good way, that Kenya will work for peace in many, many areas of the world. Hallelujah. We thank you, Lord. We bless you, Lord. We exalt you, Lord. We magnify you, Lord. We adore you, Lord. We magnify you. There is another thing for which I want to thank the Lord. On the 14th of this month, I preached a very simple message. It was, don't die, live. Don't die, live. That was the message that I preached. And I said, Kenya, don't die, live. And I spoke to people in all the regions, whether in East Africa, Africa, and those who are viewing our telecast everywhere. I want to tell you what happened. That evening, I called one of my friends who is a businessman in deals with transportation. He normally has lorries and vehicles, trucks, to transport and move goods from one place to another place. When I called him, he told me that he had distress and he was very panicky. He told me that his vehicle was moving from Garissa Mwingi Thika Road, which means he was coming to Thika, and they passed a town in Kenya called Matu. And they came up to a town called Sovia, and the gearbox failed. And when the gearbox failed, because the vehicle was very heavy, it was carrying a lot of luggage, the vehicle began veering backward. So the driver was with his tanner boy. The tanner boy jumped out of the vehicle and then got stones to save this vehicle and to put them behind the rear tires. And the vehicle came over them, and it could not be saved, and the vehicle wallowed and crashed on the side of the driver. When I talked to that businessman, he was so worried. He was in such a panic. I could hear the way he was breathing. And he told me does not know what has happened with the driver, but it appears like the vehicle has ramped over the driver. I told him, my brother, today God gave me to preach a message that says, don't die, live. I want to tell you the truth. Stop panicking. The driver cannot die. The driver is going to live. I told him, I want you to relax. It was about 10 o'clock. And I want you to call the tunnel boy again. And I want you to find out what is happening and get back to me. So he called, and he called the tunnel boy and the police, and came to the accident spot. And they talked with the policeman. And the policeman told him, we have taken the driver, and he has been taken to Matu Level 4 hospital, but he's unconscious. He called me, told me what the policeman has told him, and that the driver is unconscious. I told him, the man cannot die. Today on the 14th of June, I preached a message, don't die, live. I told him he is not going to die because I don't preach what I want. I preach what the Lord gave me. I told him that driver cannot die. He's not going to die. I asked him, are you going? Do you want to go? He told me that there is curfew in Nairobi, so I'm working to go in the morning. So in the morning, I called him at 4 a.m., and he was at the border place between Vika, where you are coming out of, where the police have put the restrictions there, and he was seeking passage from the authorities who are there. They allowed him to go, and later he called me. He was in Matu police station. I did not ask him what was happening. I asked him a simple question: where is the driver? How is the driver? And he told me the driver is next to me. I asked him, is he alive? He told me he is alive. Is he having broken bone? He told me no. Is he bleeding anywhere? He told me no. I told him, I told you last night, the Lord gave me to preach a message in Sunday service saying, don't die, live. And I just come before the Lord today to thank the Lord for what he has done. To thank the Lord for his mercies. To thank the Lord for his goodness. To thank the Lord for his kindness. To thank the Lord for what he has done. And he has checked. I told him, take this younger man to a place where he will get all X-rays and he will be given good medical attention. And they told me he has done that, and the man is perfectly well. We came to say, thank the Lord for his mercies endureth forever. This is Thanksgiving Sunday service. We thank God who has dealt well with Kenya and who has dealt well with the Kenyans. God has dealt well with you. God has dealt well with you. You must appreciate the Lord. You must thank the Lord. You must be grateful to the Lord. You must say, the Lord will be. And I'm telling you, I want you to have an attitude of thanking the Lord. I want you to have moments when you go before the Lord not to beg and not to complain. I want you to have an attitude when you go before the Lord just to tell him thank you. I want you when you come back to your house from town, you say thank you. I want you when you go to your office in town, you say thank you. I want you to have an attitude of thanking the Lord every time. For every time, not only when you are eating before a meal. I want you when you wake up and all your organs of your body are working, you say, thank you, Lord. I worship you. I adore you. I want you to have an attitude. So the scripture, David was saying, he was saying this scripture that we are closing at this point. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, and I want you to thank the Lord. I want you, wherever you are in this country, whether you are in northeastern in the counties of Mandera, Wajir, Garissa, I want you to thank the Lord. I want you to know God has dealt well with Kenya, and God will do well with you. I want you to thank the Lord wherever you are, if you are in the Kochi province. I want you, whether you are in Lamu County, whether you are in Tana River, you are in Kilifi, you are in Malindi, you are in Kwale, you are in Mombasa, or in Tana River, I want you to be grateful and thank the Lord. Wherever you are, I want you to see God has dealt well with you. And I want to come before you, and I want to come before the Lord also, and that we tell the Lord, thank you for the goodness you have. And I'm asking all of you that are here, in our closing moment, I want you to stand where you are so that we can just open our mouths and tell the Lord, thank you, Lord. Tell the Lord, I want you to open your mouth and tell the Lord, thank you. I want you to open your mouth and tell the Lord, thank you. And anywhere where you under complain, anywhere where you under situation, where you are not thanking the Lord, tell the Lord, forgive me, Lord. I want to be grateful. Because the Bible says, oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good, for his mercies endureth forever. Tell the Lord, you have been good to me, and you will be good to me, and I thank you, Lord. Tell the Lord, I thank you for this day. Tell the Lord, I glorify you this day. Tell the Lord, thank you for my life. I want you to open your mouth wherever you are. I want you, all of you, wherever you are in the Caracas, those who are outside Africa, those who are in Europe, those who are in the Middle East, those who are in the United States, those who are in our consulate in Colombia. I want you to have this one, the just to thank the Lord. He has done good to Kenya. He has done good to a Kenyan. God has done good to you. Lord, we thank you. We worship you. We adore you, Lord. We can give the Lord and clap where we are. We can thank the Lord where we are. We can thank the Lord and anyone. We want to pray for anyone who is going through difficulties, anyone who is going through depression. The Lord is not late. He will come. Let him not, don't think he will delay. The Lord is going to come. So don't give up. I want you to hold your faith in God. I want you to believe God. God will help you. I want to pray for any needs. For any other people that are traveling, our people that are traveling by roads, our people that are on the road, our people that are traveling anywhere, whether walking or what, that God will protect them and the Lord will supply to you according to his riches in glory by Christ Jesus. Father, I take this 1 minute, oh God, to pray for any person who has a need. We want to commit our brethren and our people and the Kenya citizen and all that are in Kenya, those who are in quarantine and those who are in hospitals, those who are going through treatment, whether for corona and against corona or whatever it is. Lord, we commit them into your hands. Thank you, Lord, for healing. You have healed many people, and we tell you thank you. We thank you, our Father. We thank you, our God. We thank you, our Lord. We thank you, our Master. We thank you, our Savior. We thank you, our God. We thank you, our God. We worship you. We adore you, our God. We magnify your name, O God. We exalt your name, O God. We thank you. We thank you for our leaders. We thank you for the president. We thank you for the deputy president. We thank you for the leaders that you have given us. We thank you for the leaders in the church. We thank you for the apostles and the prophets that are relaying your word to the nations of the world. We thank you for prophetic voice that is God to the nations of the world. We thank you. We thank you, our God. We thank you, our Lord. We thank you, our Lord. We magnify you. And we pray for those that are in distress, other nations that are in distress. We pray for nations in the continent of Africa and in the world. Lord, you are going to bear them. And Kenya is going to play a role. Kenya is going to play a role. We sanctify our nation. We pray for our nation. Let Kenya shine. Let Kenya rise. Let Kenya shine. Let Kenya rise. Let Kenya shine. Let Kenya rise to the glory of your name. We thank you, Lord. We thank you. We thank you, Lord. We bless you. We give you glory. We thank you. We glorify. Nakela oleme okele kwamba Yesu ndiye Bwana. Nakela oleme okele kwamba Yesu ndiye Bwana.